All right, so I make these videos for friends, family, and well, occasionally my viewers. Today, actually, we're going to get into some cybersecurity topics, and I call myself that cybersecurity guy. And a lot of people probably wonder why, because most of my videos are about hiking and well, life in general. But let's just talk about um, me getting out of Lynchburg. I'm leaving jail, people. I'm leaving jail. I can't believe it. But anyway, the sale is off for this weekend. I just decided it wasn't worth it. I mean, I had social services and hospice breathing down my neck about what I was going to sell out of the house and what I'm going to do with the money. And I just said, you know what? Look, you know, we can wait till mom dies to sell everything. I don't care. I was just trying to get rid of some junk. Old Christmas decorations and stuff from under. She sold everything that was good. She sold well, she didn't sold. She gave away $3,000 worth of fishing equipment. I mean, tell you how batshit crazy my mom is, you know. And then kept a bunch of flowers in vases, plastic flowers, by the way. Boy, I'm sure that shit's valuable. And then social services and hospice need to worry about that crap. Woo! I might make $1 off of that. Holy moly, my God! And of course, the dollar ain't worth anything these days anyway. But anyway, I'm just venting just a little bit. And then of course, I was up trying to get a shower in my dad's old bathroom. And, you know, mom would never let me change out the shower. It's an old iron tub. It's got them sliding glass doors. And, of course, what did I do? I cut the crap out of my toe on that. Can you imagine my 80-year-old dad trying to get in and out of that porcelain tub iron tower with sliding glass doors? I mean, you got to lift your foot up 3 feet to just step into the damn shower, you know. And I cut my foot on that brass thing. I mean, my mom, I tell you, she and I kept telling her, I said, Mom, let me change out the shower. Let's put a shower in that Dad can use. Oh, no. I think she was enjoying torturing him. You know, that's my mom for sure. But anyway, I just wanted to talk about the day in general. You know, once again, I go to this new Truist Bank, and you know they're busy as hell. And all I'm trying to do is just transfer some money from my mom's money market account to her checking account, so that because I got everything on autopilot. I made sure that you know all her bills are going to be paid automatically because you know she's obviously out at the assisted living right now, and so you know I just trying to automate things as much as I can, you know, and that way everything comes out of her checking account, and I can just go live my life in Florida. That's my dream. That's my dream. Florida, DeSantis, I love you. I want to come home. I want to come home. All right, so let's just talk cybersecurity for 2 seconds, and I did tell you I'd get into that. And so, you know, the federal government puts out this vague warning about cybersecurity, and then they tell all the private companies that, you know, be sure and shore up your defenses. Well, you do know that half of all the money in the country goes to government employees. So what are the government employees doing? I mean, you got the NSA, you got the FBI, you got the CIA. I mean, there's NIH, the CDC. I mean, you name it. There's probably, you know, 50 different agencies, and they don't know anything about cybersecurity. And then they tell the private companies that they got to deal with their own cybersecurity. What are the? I mean, I will tell you this: when I worked as a contractor in the federal government, most of them, this was back in the 80s, you know, I mean, but they just sit with their feet propped up on the desk from about 9 till about 3, and they'd read the newspaper, and some of them would be snoring. I would actually walk past desks, and they'd just be snoring at their desks. So that's where your taxpayer money goes. You know, why in the hell, I mean, of course we got this gazillion-dollar facility 28 miles out of Salt Lake City, Utah. What are all those people doing? I mean, well, they're collecting everything that everybody does around the world on the internet. But they can't help private companies with cybersecurity? Now, I'm pretty sure I've told a couple of stories in the past, but the one that infuriated me the most is I was dealing with a law firm up in Michigan, and they were still using an old FTP server, and I think I've told this story in a previous video. And I called them, and I said, well, I've just written, at that time I was writing a 1,100-page book on cybersecurity, okay? And it took me 5 years to write the book about cybersecurity. Now, obviously, that cybersecurity guy don't know anything about cybersecurity. Obviously, I mean, why would anybody want to hire that cybersecurity guy? Because obviously, if he can write a 1,100-page book and publish it himself, he don't know dick about cybersecurity. But anyway, so I told him, I said, your FTP server is insecure. I said, anybody can hack it. Anybody leaving you documents on your FTP server is hackable. I said, I could come in and set up an SSH server, which is, by the way, SSH, I know that doesn't mean much to anybody watching the channel for the most part, but that is an encrypted server. Much more secure, and in fact, I'm sure, because that's open source technology, and I imagine by now that the SSH, and plus I already had scripts that I had written for corporations that would have automated the transfer of files, encrypted files, by the way, back and forth across the internet if they needed to, because everybody's got to communicate with somebody. You know, I don't care. I mean, you know, corporations, they have to ship files to the banks. You know, banks got to ship files back to the corporations. I mean, so everything's flowing all over the internet at all times. I mean, every transaction you do goes over the internet, you know, and that's all subject to hackability. So anyway, and they said, well, no, we're happy with our FTP server. Oh, we don't need to do an SSH server. And then the woman that was handling my account got invited to a conference in Washington, D.C., who didn't know dick about cybersecurity, and they paid her $250,000 just to go to a conference in Washington, D.C. Now, at that time, I was making pretty good money, maybe $80,000 to $100,000 a year, but I certainly didn't make $250,000 to go to a conference about something that I don't know dick about. I mean, this is the state of your cybersecurity. I'm telling you, the people at the corporations, the people in the government, the people that are doing everything. So when they do say that Russia could pose a cybersecurity threat, or China, or any, mostly it's individual hackers most of the time. Yeah, for sure. These people are dumber than a bag of stones, man. These are the people in your government. These are the people at the corporations. They don't know squat. You know, and then, of course, I go out and try to sell my 1,000-page book, and most people look at it and go, oh, I don't have time to read that. That's about cybersecurity. Why would I want to read that? I'm already getting paid to be a cybersecurity expert. I said, well, because, you know what, I guess I know a little bit more than you do. Anyway, so I'm going to be rewriting this. Purpose of this video, I'm going to be rewriting the book when I get back to Florida. God, I can't wait to get back to Florida. But anyway, so I'm going to break it up into a 3-book set. You know, you've got the setting up and using an SSH server. By the way, tunneling out of colleges to your SSH server so that you can surf the internet securely. The Tor. A lot of people want, you know, the dark net. You know, of course, I'll be writing about that. I mean, it's not really the dark net. It's just about encrypting it bounces from 3 different servers and comes out on a exit queue, and I got a whole chapter on that, and we're going to talk about the new routers. I'm probably going to have to buy a new router, and we'll talk about that. Cell phones, 5G technology, that'll be in the 3-book set. Of course, Windows 10 now. I had a chapter on Windows 7, but most of it's relevant for Windows 10. You know, and we'll talk about securing that. And well, by the way, I mean, of course, you know that DuckDuckGo is no longer secure. They caved in, and now they're going to be censoring people. They're trying to block people out of Russia. And once you head down that slippery slope, I mean, you're done. So I will tell you, Startpage or IXQuick. Those are the browsers or the search engines that you want to use. Get away from DuckDuckGo. And certainly stay away from Google, but nobody listens to that cybersecurity guy. So anyway, this video is getting too long, but I just wanted to throw up a quick video. And for my relatives and friends, you know, the only things I got left is I got one more stump to take out in the back. By the way, I love playing whack-a-mole on a stump. You get all that frustration out, and you just whack away on that stump. And I tell you what, it's good exercise. I mean, if you can go to the gym and lift weights, which is what I do in Florida, but I don't have a gym here in Lynchburg, Virginia, so I come up with alternate exercise, and I think whack-a-mole on a stump works good for me. Gets my heart rate up, increases my upper body strength. I mean, you come up with what you want, and then I'm going to fertilize and put down some grass seed. You know, one of the things that my dad did was he was always, And this is what a lot of people do, and they do it down in Florida too. I don't know if it's an old person thing. I'm 58. I consider myself old, but I mean, I never did what my dad did. So he was constantly putting mulch around the trees. So what you basically created was a mound of dirt, that rises up out of the yard, and comes up about this high. So what I'm doing is I'm digging out that mound of dirt and trying to level the yard so that when a lawnmower comes, because I pushed the mower, I didn't have this is like 2 acres of land here, man. I used to cut this with a push mower, but anyway, and of course my dad, he had a riding mower. That was his favorite thing to do. But Ben, I tell you, when you're going up over a mound, or you're coming down and hitting there were some holes in the backyard, and they changed the sewer system, and so there was this big long ditch along the backyard. So I'm just taking that dirt and I'm spreading it around, and that's going to need to be seeded and fertilized. And that's basically the last thing, other than packing my car. I am taking some stuff out of Mom's house. I got to. My wife took a lot when she moved out, so I'm taking a couple lamps and stuff back home. Because Mom, she doesn't need them. She hasn't even been down in the basement in 2.5 years, so I'm not taking anything of value. I mean, this is just kind of junk stuff that I'm looking at going, man, I could sure use a lamp, Anyway, you guys, peace out, stay free. I'm going to have to change the mantra, because COVID is over. I mean, when I went out to my mom's assisted living, let's just say, and they didn't have masks on here in Virginia, a purple state. I think that even the Democrats are getting the message that they can't push this thing any further. Now, CCP virus 2 coming, sounds like it, So I'm sure they'll try to resurrect this, but I just don't think even a Democrat's going to go along with this at this point. I mean, I think everybody's got CCP virus fatigue. I know Republicans do, for sure. I've been for 2.5 years, freedom, oh freedom, good to live in the free state of Florida. We have no COVID mandates, all that stuff. And so I just think that they can't push that narrative any longer. So it's mainly going to be about Ukraine. Of course, we've got a stock market crash coming. We got a housing market crash coming. There's going to be plenty of bad news. I mean, we got gas prices. Well, here, even here in Lynchburg, Virginia, hitting $4.50 a gallon. I mean, I think, like I said, I've been telling you $6 to $8 a gallon. So there's plenty of stuff for the Democrats to beat on to try to get some votes in November. And I keep telling everybody, there's not going to be an election. When you have an open border with terrorists crossing the border from Afghanistan and Iran, there's going to be some big incidents. I mean, hell, I'm just watching Miami, Florida today, and there was a couple shootings there, and the spring break crowd went crazy. I mean, there's going to be a lot of chaos in the United States, and I just don't see how we're going to have a 2022 election, because the Democrats ain't going to let it happen. They're going to lose. At this point, I mean, everything could change. A nuclear bomb. Hell, we might have a nuclear bomb go off in the United States. Maybe they smuggled it across that open border that the Democrats want, or a chemical weapon or a biological weapon. I mean, I just see we've got a recipe for disaster in this country, in financially, terrorist-wise, everything. And I'm trying to not to be a downer, but anyway, you guys peace out, stay free. I'll throw this video up as fast as I can. Hey, by the way, future videos, I always want to promote them. I made a good video today out at Liberty Mountain, another one. I know I'm watching you saying, man, how many videos can you make at Liberty Mountain? Well, I mean, you could go 2-3 weeks there, making videos, and then every time it's 2 or 3 videos. And then also I've got Sweetbriar College, and I want to go back there. I already made one. Well, I probably got about 2 videos there. So now why haven't I posted the videos? Well, I'm waiting for some bad weather. We've got rain coming on Wednesday here in Lynchburg, Virginia, and that's what I do. I go out and I record footage, and then when I get some bad weather, I just sit and work on my videos. And of course, I have other things I have to do. Finances. I'm still dealing with my divorce. And so we all have lives. Peace out. Stay free.